Hey, how's it going, guys? Cinder Skater here. Black Ops 4 got updated to version 1.17 earlier today. It's brought along with it Operation Spectre Rising and all that content on PlayStation 4, as well as some weapon and specialist and score streak tuning, some Blackout changes, and some major zombies updates and just overall impactful adjustments to the game. We're going to be going over all the patch notes in that order particularly. I'll have each section time-coded in the description if you're looking for something specific, but let's just go ahead and hop right into it. The update is about 12 gigabytes on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's going to be coming to PC later this week. Let's start off with the PlayStation 4 stuff, which is the majority of this is the Operation Spectre Rising stuff. This brought a new specialist called Spectre, returning from Black Ops 3. It's unlocked at tier 1, and he has the Shadow Blade as his specialist weapon and some smoke as his equipment. We'll be going over that in a video next week. We had 3 new multiplayer maps: Masquerade, Artifact, and WMD. 3 new weapons. We got new black market gear, 50 tier contraband stream, and reserves that introduced weapon charms and death effects into the game, as well as some new reactive camos that are all apparently per weapon. We'll be talking about that in a later date. Also, is bringing Prop Hunt this Friday. We had the Blackout map update, the Wetworks update, where Hydro Jam explodes and has pretty much flooded the entire map with water, and Dam Factory, Cargo, Docks, Hijacked, and the Barns by Firing Range were all heavily affected. Apparently, this isn't live on Xbox yet, which ticks me off, not because I have a problem with exclusivity, but I was kind of excited to come home and kind of play the new map, because when we got the spring update, it was live on all platforms at the same time. We've gotten the update before that live on all platforms at the same time, and this time it's not. I've talked about this before on my channel. They like pick and choose what's going to be exclusive, and nothing's consistent. It just really annoys me. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because there's no need to talk about it in this video. Also, we had the Blackout Bounty Hunter mode introduced, which I'm not going to go too in depth right now because we're going to do a video next week, but it's Spectre stashes flying throughout the map, and it gives you the Shadow Blade and like level 3 armor and other powerful gear. You have like Predator-like abilities, and you're hunting down marked targets. If you get a kill or survive the attack, you get supply drops. It's a fun little bonus mode in Blackout. The Dart has also been added into Blackout on PlayStation 4. That's right, there is a lethal remote-controlled equipment in Blackout now. We also have the new Gauntlet coming to zombies as part of Operation Spectre Rising. So let's get into the patch notes for all consoles, all platforms. Starting with the underwater bullet damage, they made it so when bullets fly underwater, they now inflict reduced damage, which was really interesting. It might change the way you play the game if you play in the water a lot. Who knows? I just found that really interesting. Gestures and tags are now also universal, so you no longer have to put them per specialist or per character. They translate across Blackout, multiplayer, specialist, whatever. And Prestige Master numbers are now gold. Jumping into the multiplayer notes, we had some weapon tuning, and the easiest way to say this is that all SMGs have had their range increase. The Cordite and the Spitfire had their range increase only on console, so those 2 SMGs are unaffected on PC, but the other ones have all had their range increased. Treyarch's trying to make the SMGs a little bit more viable. And the SOG 9mm got a slight nerf. They slightly reduced the aim down sight movement speed with the stock 2 attachment only. That's it for the weapon tuning. As for specialist tuning, Nomad's Mesh Mine, Torque's Razor Wire, and Ajax 9 all have longer cooldowns now, which means you're not going to be able to use those equipment as much. And Ruin's Grav Slam no longer charges the ability meter when you get kills with it, so it's in line with all the other specialists in the game right now. Score streak tuning, the UAV and counter UAV duration has been increased from 8 seconds all the way to 30 seconds, so it's like your standard UAV of past Call of Duty games. Those things went by so quickly. They're hard to take out. You had to, like, as soon as the notification went out, if you're trying to go for like the golden launcher, you had to look in the sky immediately because they went by so quickly. So it's a good change. I'm glad to see that. The drone squad also had a pretty big buff. They increased its damage, its clip size is larger, and the fire rate is now more unpredictable, making the drone squad just more lethal overall. And then the Mantis, they reduced the time the Mantis can be disabled, but they also increased the damage threshold for temporarily disabling the Mantis. And last but not least, for multiplayer, for COD World League, we had a couple pretty prominent changes. Players are now immediately banned if they leave a match, and that ban gets longer and longer the more times you offend. And you also lose more points if you quit a match now. Melee weapons are now restricted in League play matches, and they also reduce the amount of rockets needed to destroy an attack chopper and a gunship to just 2 rockets in League play only. So that wraps up multiplayer. Blackout, we have a couple notable things here. As for weapon tuning, the Mozu got a buff that increased its close range damage and increased its headshot multiplier. The VKM got a pretty significant buff. They reduced its recoil. They also further reduced its recoil on those first 4 shots. And the gold VKM has a 3x scope instead of a 4x scope now. And last but not least, the Hades got a pretty significant buff as well. They increased its overall damage, which we've only seen them do with the RK7 before. It takes 5 shots to kill now. Before it was 6 shots to kill. They also increased its max damage range. And the gold Hades now has a 2x scope instead of a 4x scope. So it's good to see the LMGs getting some love after this long in Black Ops 4. Mesh mines are also easier to spot in Blackout now, and alongside the kind of shared gestures and tags, character customization now carries from Blackout lobbies into your custom game Blackout lobbies. And last but not least, the major zombies update. Some of these things are definitely worth mentioning because they affect like your overall gameplay in zombies. So there's a new thing called Classic Elixir Restocking, which happens mid-game now. If you run out of elixirs, the elixirs that have a finite amount, the ones you get from the lab or whatever is in this game, once you have an empty elixir slot, they now refill with random classic elixirs during a match. Empty slots at the beginning of a match will also get filled with classic elixirs, and team-friendly elixirs, like Nowhere But There, have a higher odds of being selected in co-op matches. So now you shouldn't be having to be without elixirs in zombies at all. You'll be able to use whatever you want to use, your rare ones, and then you'll always have some backup ones at random during a zombies match, which is nice to see. They also reworked the mystery box. They reorganized the probabilities by weapon tiers of what you would get. Some of the wall-buy weapons have also been removed from the mystery box, which is very nice to see. And they also prevented consecutive duplicates from being a thing from the mystery box. Camo kill requirements for the zombies camos have been halved for the box only weapons. So you can see the MX9 takes like 3,600 headshots, I think, to get that last performance camo, I think it is, or technical camo, one of the others, the first camo section. And for the MP40, you only need to get like 1,800 or 1,600 headshots with that weapon. Overall, making Diamond and Dark Matter easier to get. For Dead of the Night, they had a couple significant changes for this map just to make it pretty much easier to play. The werewolves now spawn less and they take more damage when you hit their weak points. The Nosferatu, I hope that's how you pronounce it, those things base health had adjusted, and they also reduced the spawn rate of the Nosferatu. And then the Crimson Nosferatu spawn rate has also been reduced, and they lowered its base health, and the thing summons reinforcements less frequently. So everything coming together to make that map easier to play. Last thing here is the Winter's Whale perk. The perk fully recharges with a max ammo power-up now, or on every round that you complete in a zombies match. It will only activate if players are not at full health, to prevent like accidental wastes of charge when you have full health. I think they said for like the hardcore modes, it still activate on a insta hit because you're unlikely to survive a hit in those hardcore modes. You also gain 1 charge every 60 seconds with this perk now, and the max base charge hold is now 3. I think it was 2 before. So that's good to see. There also were a few other minor specific issues that they addressed for zombies. Link to the patch notes down below if you want to check those out if you're a hardcore zombie player. But those were the 5 things that stood out that seemed like they definitely affect gameplay and everyone should know about. So that pretty much covers update 1.17 and the launch of Operation Spectre Rising. If you guys didn't see that trailer, I did a trailer reaction for that. I'll have a link in the cards right now. You can go check that out. Pretty good looking stuff. I can't wait to get my hands on it next on Xbox, and I definitely want to do a video covering Spectre, because I think it's going to be my favorite specialist. Might even do a best to worst specialist now and put them at the top side. I love the dude in Black Ops 3. And I also want to cover that bounty hunter mode. So more to come. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about this update down below in the comments. If anything stands out to you, if you're upset about anything, let me know. down below. But that'll be it for this one. My name's Center Skater. As always, if you guys did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You know, all the fun stuff to do on YouTube nowadays. Links down below in the description for 10% off Control Freaks, as well as any name apparently comes from my Amazon Associates link down there if you want to help support the channel that way. But again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.